Exercise 8c is drawing an arched head window. Again, I'm going to change the scale. This time Control Q, bring up the scale, and I'm change it to 1:50. Enter. Our window we're going to draw with a rectangle. Rectangle command S, pick the bottom left, R, 1200 by 1800, 1200 wide, tab 1800 high, enter, and that's drawn. Just close, and we have our rectangle. To zoom in on this, I'm going to select it and use Control and the letter D, which zooms into our selection, and just roll the wheel back to zoom out from there. This has an arch on the head, and that arch rises 343 millimeters. So with the offset command, I'm going to type in 343, enter, and if we bring this back down to the rectangle, it goes all the way around. To make it only come off one segment of the rectangle, hold down the Control key, move back, and we have our spring for the arch. Using the 3-point arc command, endpoint, M for midpoint, E for endpoint, and there's the arc for the top of the window. I'm deleting this line now. What I want to do is just put in the frame, so offset, instead of 343, 40, enter, and offsetting from the inside the rectangle and inside the head of the window. Right click, zoom in, and I just want to trim up these end corners. Trim corner in this case, this will actually break the rectangle when I trim. And on the left and now on the right, there we have our window drawn. To put some dimensions on this, I can use the radius dimension. Now this changes depending on where this circle is on the arc. Right on the outside or on the inside is different. Also, holding down the Control key makes this different on the outside and different from the inside. So you can choose how you want these done, just depending on where the pick circle is, and also whether you're using the Control key. To actually run a dimension up the side on the right here to the center line, center point, I would choose vertical dimension. Now E for endpoint, V for vertical. If I just go S for snap off, you can see it's going to the left, so we want this to go to the right, and hold the Control key down, it will go to the right. So now just going away from the snap off command to C for center, I'm already locked on vertical, that's why there's the S and the V. C for center, it's got C and V, and if I go near onto the arc, you can see the dimensions going inside the window. Just move away, Control, and now that has changed to the outside of the window. If I want to put a dimension on the top, I could now go E for endpoint, and I'll just change to single command, just repick the command itself, endpoint, V for vertical, and this time I'm going to use Q for quadrant. So Q, again holding down the Control key, and my line goes across. If I didn't use the V for vertical command, I would go E for endpoint, Q for quadrant, and hold down the Control, and that would actually bring a line all the way across to the quadrant, which is the uppermost point of my arc. But generally we don't like these lines coming across, and that's why we just use the V for vertical, so all the pick points end up in a straight line.